So we've had a bit of a job on today. What I've done is gone over the whole lawn with the Scarifyer, the hole puncher, the lawn mower, got all the moss and all the clover as much as I can out, and then we've put a feed on it. So this is the video on the whole process. Let's crack on. So the job we've just achieved is to Scarify and completely rake the whole lawn. Now the thing that I've used is this old girl. Now this, I'll tell you about this because this is a bit of kit. This is about 30 years old. Must be 30 years old. It was my grandpa's. It was the old Qualcast Concord mower. And back in the day, you could buy these little lawn attachments, these rake attachments that clip to the cutting wheel. You remove the blade off it, and then it scarifies and just turns into an electrified lawn rake. As a mower, this was absolutely useless. It really was rubbish. For a tiny garden, it was okay. But as you can see on this wheel now, we've got these little spring metal attachments that clip onto this cutting rotor here, which just catch the grass and flick out the moss and anything else it gets hold of. It works really well as a Scarifyer. It's not the best, it's not industrial, it really is basic stuff, but my God, it's better than using a rake. To do the whole garden, it took me about 5 hours. It was a bit of but the grass is full of rubbish. It's full of weeds, it's full of moss, it's full of clover, and it really did need doing. I've not done it for a couple of years. I've managed to get hold of this again and give it a good going over. Really impressed with the results. It really has got in. We've got an awful lot out. We've got lots out. I'll show you the pile, what we've actually dragged out of the ground. And the dog's got the camera. Yeah, daft dog, ain't you? So yeah, the bucket, I mean, those of you who remember these, you know what I'm talking about. You know, it was all about this. Look at this, the design. I think they sold it as having this compactable bucket thing. You pull this up and it squashes all the grass so you can keep on mowing, you know. Bless it. But like I say, as a rake, it's really done a good job. Not bad at all. Saved me getting blisters on my hands. Let me get you a close-up of this rotor. So as you can see, here they are looking all their glory. They just clipped around the centre shaft, and they just, I mean, I'm surprised they don't fly off because there's not a great deal holding them on. You know, they just, but all the force is taken up by these little springs, and it's just enough to flick in and rake the grass. So, I mean, all the way across the blade, we are covering a majority of the ground. They don't take a great deal of power, so this tiny little motor that's in this mower is quite adequate to, you know, to flick these rakes around and get the crap out of the ground. So this is what we're up against in the grass. You can see it's thick with clover. Really thick, and the raking, the Scarifying process just drags out this ryegrass and stretches everything, gets rid of all that thick undergrowth, which will hopefully, once it's been fed, allow the grass to thrive and fight against the other weeds. So let's crack on. I mean, it is good when you're looking at what we're getting in here. We're getting an awful lot of, moss, getting a lot of clover. It's looking good. So I went over the lawn, it was 3 weeks ago, I went over it for the first time, got rid of a lot of the moss and stuff. So it was a good 5-hour job. Here we are, look, fast forwarding, super speed, look at the way he works, look, he's going like a little Trojan. So with this Scarifyer, we just keep working it, just going over the same patches a couple of times. I tend to do it in small bits, small bits at a time. If you try and just walk the whole length of the garden and back up again,
you tend to miss parts, and yeah, it gets a bit tedious. I find if you just work into small patches, it goes a lot easier. As you can see, just working it, just keep going over it, and it just keeps on pulling bits out, keeps pulling clover out, keeps pulling the moss out. Obviously, the bits under the trees are a lot worse. The moss is a lot deeper. But this, obviously keeps pulling it up, and you end up with very little grass at the end of it in places. But that's fine. We can put the hole puncher over it and then seed it, and it will come back. I mean, the grass is looking still quite brown from this hot summer we've had. It's just starting to come back. So once it's all been scarified, I just run over it with the mower, which just picks up any debris that's sitting on the top, any loose bits of moss and clover and stuff that's been pulled up, and it just levels it all out nicely. You can see once we've gone over it with a mower how patchy some bits are. So we've got quite a bit of seeding to do once we've put the hole puncher over it. And we can just have a look inside, and there you go. You see it's not picking up masses of grass, but it's just tidying up.
Last week I went over it again and just did a quick run, and it just kind of got rid of what needed to be lifted that had dried up. So we got rid of a lot of that again. And like I say, now I've gone over it with this selective herbicide, just gone over the few patchy bits just to see how it reacts, and then I shall just I've got the hole puncher, so I'm going to just go over it again with the hole punch to try and get some air into the soil, and then just drop some fresh seed over the top. So yeah, by the end of the autumn, if we can keep on top of the leaves falling on the grass, we should be looking okay, all ready for next year. It's still quite brown from the summer. We have had a really, really dry summer, but all in all, I'm quite pleased. It's not looking too bad. So this is the other gadget I use, and it's a hole puncher. So as you can see, as you push it, it rotates, and these little spikes just go straight into the ground and lift the soil and aerate it. Get off me leg! God blimey, I've got a... What's going on? Hey, what's going on? You're not having my leg. You're a lady. Eh? That's not what ladies do, is it? What? Oh, blimey. Anybody want a dog? We're talking about this on the video. Hey, am I not playing with you? Are you feeling a bit left out? I'm sorry. We'll play in a minute. Back to the... So yeah, as you push it, it's spring loaded so that it'll only give what it needs. And these generally go in about 1.5 inches into the ground, and as it rotates it flicks the soil slightly as well and just lifts it and airs it. Brilliant bit of kit. It is a bit of an effort to because it's not very wide, so it does take a while to go over the whole of the garden. I generally try and go over twice. And you want to do it? Go on then, you have a go. Do you know what, if I tie this to your back, you can run around the garden. Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it? Should we do that? You do it. You want to do it? You're a pain. So yeah, I'll do a bit of this, and you can see how it works. God blimey, I've got a dog on my leg. Holy smoke, Lola, get off me. Look what you've done to my trousers now, look, you bloody sex pest. Good Lord. But as you can see, what it's doing to this, it's plucking and it's lifting and creating air within the soil. It's a great bit of kit, and it's not that hard to use. You can see the action there. Again, these are available on Amazon or from your garden centre. Not expensive, and not a bad little bit of kit. So once I've finished with that hole puncher, the aerator, I'll just whiz over it with some overseed and a bit of lawn feed and weed. I use the granules this time, the selective stuff. It'll feed and bring it all up nice and green, and we should have a really nice looking lawn again. So yeah, it's great stuff. Let's crack on. Okay, and then on the bits where it's a bit patchy, it just needs a little bit of lifting. You just sprinkle on a bit of the old seed. Beautiful. We'll let that get in the soil, let it take, and in, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks it should look a different lawn.
I'm a bit water conscious. We're on a meter, so I don't like to sprinkle the lawn through the summer, and it does get a bit brown, but it always comes back really well once the weather changes. So I'm hoping, say 3 weeks time, this will look different again.
Thanks for joining me on the lawn maintenance. Quite enjoy this. I like my lawn. I like to get it looking nice. Try and keep it green and fresh. If it's been of any use to you, drop me a thumbs up, like, subscribe. Give me any comments if you've got any tips. I'm always open to tips because there's so many different things you can do with your grass, and I know some of you must have some absolutely wonderful ideas, so just let me know. Thanks for watching.